What's up, guys? Higgins in Japan here with another edition of the Friday video. The Friday video is the video that I make right here in my car on Friday on the way home from work. And we're back in the car, finally. Last week, didn't do a Friday video, so I apologize. I really wanted to get a video out, and with trying to get ready for Tokyo Game Show, it just didn't happen, so I apologize. If you're new to the channel, the Friday video is the video that I make as I drive home from work on Friday afternoon, and you guys can come along for the ride. And I make jokes like, hopefully I won't run a red light. I say that sometimes. What else do I do? Friday videos are longer form videos that aren't edited, and so it just gives me a chance to kind of ramble and talk about the things that have been going on this week in my life here in Japan. That way keeps you guys connected to me and what I'm doing here in Japan. Sometimes I talk about cool stuff, sometimes I talk about boring stuff, but it's always Japan related stuff. Lots of stuff. So, as you can tell from the video, it's raining. Not too hard, but it's been raining like all week, which has really put a hamper on my ability to go fishing. I really would like to go fishing, but I also would not like to get pneumonia and die. So that's fun. But yeah, so like I said, I really wanted to get a video out last week, but I was at the Tokyo Game Show, and so hopefully you've seen that video, or I should say those videos, because there's two videos currently up about Tokyo Game Show, and hopefully I will get some more video out. It just depends on what I can get edited and, you know, presentable, because I would like to show some more stuff from Tokyo Game Show. But big shout out to Matt over at the Rest Radio Show. I was able to go on a press day. I was also able to go on a public day, and impressions of Tokyo Game Show. So I hadn't been to Tokyo Game Show since 2013, I think. Yeah, so it'd been a few years since I've been back, and man, if you can go on a press day, go on a press day, because it is so much easier to walk around. Total for the I think the 4 days, the total of people, the total amount of people was 270,000 people. Which was up from last year. It was around 260,000, so a few more people showed up this year. But yeah, it was exciting. It was a lot of fun. It was exhausting carrying around a camera all day for both days, and like not being able to find a place to sit on the train with all my gear. Like, it was just I definitely brought too much stuff, which will be, you know, I'll need to remember that for next year if I go next year, not to bring so much stuff. Like, I just had way too much stuff on the train with me, and it was just it was a pain. But Tokyo Game Show was a lot of fun. Like, being able to see games before they come out, being able to play games before they come out, being able to just talk to developers and meet developers, and just kind of be around like that environment was a lot of fun. Like, it was really cool because people are showing off their game kind of sometimes for the first time, or they're showing off a game that's probably not completed or finished, or in a state of like, okay, let's just hope that it works for Tokyo Game Show, because as soon as the game show's over, we got to fix this thing. But it was really cool. It was just a lot of fun to kind of be there and see a lot of cool games. And for me, I really wanted to see VR. I wanted to see how virtual reality worked, because it's one of those things where you can watch somebody using it and somebody on a video going, oh, this looks really cool, but it's virtual reality. It's something you kind of have to experience. And I got to check out PlayStation VR, and I got to play some Resident Evil 7, or Biohazard 7 as it's known here in Japan. And like, that was really cool. Like, there were times where I felt like I was in, like, it was fully immersive. And thanks for running the red light, so that way I can't go. Truck. But anyways, yeah, like, there were just some really cool experiences that only happened in VR. And so I got to play a couple other games that weren't VR. I got to play a little indie game. Well, not little. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it's a little indie game. It was an indie game that's kind of on par with, like, they described it as a one-button Super Smash Brothers type game. So I made a video of that, so you can check out the gameplay of that if that's something that you're like, oh, I like Smash Brothers. Basically, it's just like a fighting game, multiplayer fighting game. It was a lot of fun, and got to talk to them about how long they'd been working on the game, and their, just talk to them. It was cool. It was a really cool experience. So, yeah, definitely, if you can get to Tokyo Game Show, it's really cheap. If you can get tickets in advance, it's like $10. If you buy tickets at the door, they're like $12. So, for $12, even if you just go for one day, it's totally worth it. The time that I went before, we didn't even stay for the full day. We just kind of walked around, checked out some stuff, and left. The big thing is, if you want to actually play games, you're going to have to stand in line more than likely. I was fortunate, like I said, that I got in on a press pass, so I was able to set appointments for games that I wanted to play, so I didn't have to wait in line, which was really awesome, because it made me feel a lot more special than what I really am. To just be able to say, like, oh yeah, I have an appointment for this game, and show my press pass. Also, I was able to take a lot more pictures and stuff than the normal person would have been allowed to, and was kind of allowed to go places where the normal person just couldn't get into. Again, just making me feel a lot more important than deserving. So, but yeah, Tokyo Game Show was a lot of fun. It was really exhausting, but like I said, I had fun doing it. I got to meet up with a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while, and I got to talk to him and his friends about, like, what they saw at the show and all that kind of cool stuff. So that was fun. It was just a really fun experience, and totally would do it again. Maybe next time bring less gear with me. But yeah, what else? Oh, so on the subject of technology and video games and those such things, I just recorded a new podcast with Kevin. Kevin is the host of the Just Japan podcast, and he actually has started a new podcast. Still going to be doing the Just Japan podcast, but he's going to be doing a tech podcast. So all things, gaming, all things tech related. Like, we talked about a whole bunch of different things, and so in the next couple of days I'll probably make another video just as like a reminder. But yeah, like, that was a lot of fun to be on his first episode of his new podcast. It's called the All Over the Place podcast, because you're just kind of talking about all kinds of stuff, but mostly tech related stuff. And yeah, so it was really cool. Like, we talked about, well, I don't want to give away too much. We talked about drones, we talked about some video games, we talked about some different technology stuff, and it was really cool, because, like, don't get me wrong, I love talking about Japan. I mean, that's why I make these videos for you guys, so you can, hear me ramble about Japan. But I like to talk about other things. Surprisingly, I like to talk about things that aren't Japan related. So it was really fun, and I'm glad that he had me on for his first episode. And hopefully, if you guys like it, and hopefully you do, then maybe I'll be on again. That would be really cool. Considering I'm not going to start my own podcast anytime soon, I don't foresee that happening. One, because it's a lot of work, and two, like, I don't know. You got to find a formula that works, and a topic that you can have easy conversation with, and everybody does a podcast. So I don't know, that's just not something that I think I could do on a regular basis. But I'll be a guest on anybody's podcast. Like, I don't have a problem with being a guest, because then I can just kind of show up, or, you know, Skype in, and then I don't have to do any of the editing. I don't have to do any of the research. I can just be the guest, and that's fine with me. I'm okay being a guest on somebody else's show. So yeah, Tokyo Game Show was great. Kevin's new podcast was a lot of fun, and that should be out in a few days. And so what I'll do is I will put a link. I will go back and put a link to that in here somewhere, so you guys can. So if you're watching this later, or you didn't watch the other video, or something about I don't make another video about the other podcast, like whatever, you'll have the ability to find the links to that podcast in this video. And I'm trying to think what else. I think that's probably it for this edition of the Friday video. I've got more Tokyo Game Show videos coming out soon, as well as a couple more videos that need to be edited, that don't have anything to do with Tokyo Game Show. So if you're like, I don't care about video games, don't worry. There will be other videos that are not video game related coming soon to this channel. So for me, Higgins in Japan, I'm gonna go home and enjoy the rest of my weekend, because the weekend has just started. As always, if you have any questions or comments, head over to facebook.com/HigginsInJapan. You can also send me questions there, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Sometimes I might be delayed because I got things to do. I got to work. I got a job. So I can't always respond right away, but I will try to respond to your questions as soon as possible. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a good one, guys. Peace.